New updated guidelines encourage early treatment for children as young as 12, including medication and weight loss surgery for those as young as 13. These guidelines say it can reduce the risk of developing other health conditions when it comes to childhood obesity. And the recommendation comes as obesity in children continues to rise over the past decade and a half. Obesity now affects 20% of kids and teens here in the U.S.
Doctors want you to consider drugs and surgery to help kids who are struggling with childhood obesity. Sounds perfectly safe, right? Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Cojones with Angel Santiago. I'm your host, Angel Santiago, and this story is pretty infuriating. CBS News published an article where doctors are making what they believe is a compelling case for why we may want to consider drugs and surgery for kids as young as 12 years old to help them lose some weight. Now, I read the article, and I have to tell you, I'm not convinced for a couple different reasons. Let's get into them. The first main reason is I fall into the camp that for most people, losing weight comes down to lifestyle choices and decisions that we make every single day. Now, notice I said most people. There are always special cases, and in those special cases, doctors should consider them on a case-by-case basis. We should not be making blanket statements saying, hey, if you're 12 years old and you're kind of chubby, maybe consider surgery and drugs. I don't think that leads to a good place. Recently, the CDC actually did a study over the pandemic looking at kids from 2 to 19, and they saw that BMI indexes actually doubled during that time period. Now, for people who want to say that weight loss, like some of the doctors in this article that are claiming that weight loss isn't lifestyle choices, what exactly would you attribute that to? Right? When we're looking at kids throughout that 2-year period where everybody was staying home, doing nothing, and BMIs doubled, what changed? Right? What you have now is a bunch of kids who are sitting at home scrolling through TikTok doing absolutely nothing with their lives all day, every single day. And we locked them down and we said, hey, this is your life now and that's it. So, of course, people are living a more sedentary lifestyle now. And that could easily explain the double in BMI increase, right? That double in BMI. So these doctors claiming that weight loss isn't a lifestyle choice, to me is just disingenuous. They're not telling the truth. They're not telling the truth at all. In my experience as a human being, right, weight in children is something that's learned from their parents. That may be an unpopular opinion among some of you, but typically fat kids have fat parents. It's just common sense. Now, there are always, again, exceptions to every single rule, and sometimes you have a fit couple who has a child who's overweight. But for the most part, the overweight children that you see, you meet their parents and you're like, well, that makes sense. Why is that? Now, of course, there could be biological factors at play, 100%. But we cannot deny that the choices that we're making every single day, the choices to eat pizza rolls and Cheetos every single day, mac and cheese out of a box, instead of cooking home-cooked meals, the choice to sit down and watch Netflix as a family instead of going for walks or living an active lifestyle, we can't pretend like these things don't matter. And that's what these doctors are doing right now. They're trying to tell you, you know what, the life that you live, it doesn't matter. People are just predestined to be fat. And that's a lie. That's a lie. You choose whether or not you want to be fat. For the majority of people, of course, there are always extenuating circumstances, and I might end up getting a comment here or there from people getting sensitive and telling me it's not my choice. Well, all right, fine. If it's not your choice, that's cool. Pass the responsibility on to somebody else. But I got to tell you, I have a problem when we're talking about surgery and drugs for minors for something that I believe a shift in ideology, a shift in focus and perspective could solve the problem. Right? That's the first point. The second point is that surgery and drugs, I already established that I believe that these are lifestyle choices. Now, surgery and drugs to me would only mask the problem. So another interesting case here is when you actually look at, and I think the Mayo Clinic dropped an article on this a while back, when you actually look at people who had some type of gastric bypass surgery, where, you know, it's supposed to help them lose weight or whatever, the majority of them end up gaining weight again. Why is that? And this is that second point right here. These drugs and surgeries aren't actually solving the root cause. The root cause is you. You are the root cause of the problem. The decisions that you're making every single day, right? And if we're talking about minors here, I would put those decisions onto the parents. It's your fault. If you are fat, and you have a fat kid, it's your fault. It is your fault. As a parent myself, it's my job to ensure that my children are living a healthy life. That's it. But if I go ahead and I absolve my responsibility, I abdicate my responsibility, and I say, you know what? It's not my problem anymore. I'm fat. My kid's fat. I care about my kid. You know what? Let's try surgery. Your kid has the surgery, and guess what? Like everybody else, like so many other people who have gastric bypass surgery or other type of corrective surgeries like this, they end up gaining the weight again. Why? Because you haven't changed. You haven't changed. You're still the same undisciplined person. And we're also teaching kids how to take the easy way out. Instead of solving the problem and teaching these children how to make better decisions and educating the parents on the effect that the bad decisions that they are making has on their children, instead of doing those things that would actually solve the problem, but they're really hard to do, right? Instilling discipline in an undisciplined family, right? That's a difficult thing to do, right? But that would solve the problem. Instead of doing those things, what do we say? Like everything else, you know what? Here's a drug. It'll help you. And this is the same across the board. This is the same when we look at mental health. I struggled with mental health for a while. And again, doctors are so quick to just prescribe you a pill. Here you go. Here you go. Here you go. They make you high. You're walking around. You're not even yourself anymore. But you know what? At least you don't want to kill yourself. You're no longer the same person you were before. You no longer have any of the good qualities you had before. They medicated that out of you. But you know what? Hey, you're a different person, but at least you don't want to kill yourself. It's the same thing here. It's the same. Instead of solving the problem, instead of doing the hard work that it takes to live a healthy lifestyle, to educate these families, to educate these kids, and to help them live a fruitful life where they could go on and find a partner, where they can go on and be productive members of society, where they don't end up on a TLC show because they're 600 pounds and can't even wipe their own butts. Like, instead of doing that hard work, we say, you know what, here's this drug, here's this surgery. I think it's unethical. And I don't think this is the way we should be going. Dieting and exercise is all people need for the most part when it comes to maintaining a healthy weight. The last point that I want to make here, and obviously, hey, maybe I'm just some tinfoil hat, conspiracy theorist, whatever it may be. But according to the article, these medications aren't cheap. This treatment, as far as the medication goes, could cost up to $1,300 a month. That's about what some of you are paying in rent for your apartment every single month, or for your house. $1,300 a month. And most insurance companies probably won't even cover it. So instead of promoting something that would be free for the child and for their family, right? Like a good diet plan, a good exercise plan, and maybe it's not free, right? Maybe you do have to pay out of pocket for a dietitian, right? Whatever their time is worth, and getting a diet plan. Maybe you do have to get your kid a personal trainer. Maybe you have to become a more involved parent, and that takes time away from you. That's fine. But what we're saying here is that the alternative is $1,300 a month. Now, do you know who that money goes to? Do you know who that money goes to? $1,300 a month. These are drugs, right? Who makes drugs? Pharmaceutical companies. So again, we're just finding another excuse. We're saying, hey, look, little Johnny, he's kind of fat and he's unhappy. Instead of putting him in a team sport, instead of taking time out of your day and being a good parent and helping little Johnny lose that weight, doing what you have to do, no. Give us some money. We'll solve the problem for you. We don't know how rewiring little Johnny's brain so he feels a little fuller after he eats is what that's going to do in the long run, or what that's going to do to his endocrine system or anything like that. We don't know, right? But that doesn't really matter. At least little Johnny will be able to lose some weight before he graduates high school. Fast forward to when he's 26 and he's heavier than he's ever been. But at least Big Pharma got rich. They got theirs. And this is just another example of doctors being hoes for Big Pharma. Why are we pushing treatments when there's obviously a natural solution to this? There's obviously a natural solution. Your body doesn't want to be unhealthy. Your body doesn't want to be fat and weak. All you have to do is change your habits a little bit. But no, we don't want to consider that. We don't want to consider that. We want to take the easy route. And the easy route is, let's perform surgeries on minors. Let's give minors drugs to help them lose some weight. What you choose to do when you're 18 years old, that's fine. I don't care. It's your life. Live your life, by all means. But we're talking about 12-year-olds. 12-year-olds. Maybe all that 12-year-old needs is a little love and a lot of direction, is a little discipline. All right, but we don't want to talk about that. As a society, we've become so accustomed to just taking the easy way out. Here's a pill for literally everything. And now we're saying it's okay to give kids drugs to help them lose some weight instead of actually helping the kid live a healthier lifestyle. Well, there you have it, folks. My thoughts on whether or not surgery and drugs is a good idea for minors who need a little help losing some weight. Now, if you like this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do the whole 9. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.